Hey there, and welcome back to the Stay at Home Detectives podcast. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sam.
And today we're covering the case of Courtney Clenney. So let's dive right in. On August 10th, 2022, 26-year-old OnlyFans and Instagram model Courtney Clenney was arrested for second-degree murder in connection with the death of her 27-year-old boyfriend, Christian Toby Obumseli. He was stabbed to death, and the fatal stab landed directly above a tattoo bearing her name. On the day of his murder, Clenney, who goes by Courtney Taylor online, called 911 to report that her boyfriend had been stabbed during an altercation between the two of them. Obumseli, who worked as a cryptocurrency investor at the time of his death, died from a knife wound that punctured the subclavian artery in the right side of his chest, according to Newsweek. According to an arrest report, Clenney admitted to killing Obumseli, but said she had acted in self-defense. She told police that her boyfriend had thrown her to the floor, so she grabbed a knife and threw it at him from about 10 feet away. However, the medical examiner said Obumseli's wound could not have been caused by a knife thrown from that distance. Prior to Obumseli's death, there was a history of domestic incidents that were filed in Austin before the couple moved to Florida. Aiden Nesvisky lived below the couple and said he would often hear the couple fighting intensely. It is domestic violence. I mean, if you hear something, see something, say something, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. It's a really sad situation, and I think ultimately it could have been avoided, Nesvisky said.
According to Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle, evidence gathered during the investigation showed that Clenney and Obumseli had been in an extremely combative relationship since November of 2020. Through her lawyer, Clenney claims that the stabbing was in self-defense. In fact, police initially ruled that the death had happened in self-defense at the time it happened. However, Clenney was taken into custody on August 10th of 2022, and she had been charged with second-degree murder with a deadly weapon. Clenney, who has 2 million Instagram followers, told first responders that she was suicidal after the incident and had been placed in a mental institution as a precaution, officials said. When she was arrested by the U.S. Marshal Service, she was living at a rehab facility in Hawaii, where she was undergoing treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder and substance abuse. In a statement to Rolling Stone, Clenney's lawyer, Frank Prieto, said, "We are completely shocked at Courtney's arrest based upon the clear evidence of self-defense in this matter," he added. "It is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of domestic violence and human trafficking with a crime." But Lee Merritt, an attorney tapped by Obumseli's family, posted on Instagram that cops have more than enough evidence to make an immediate arrest. From just a cursory review of the evidence, there appears to be more than a sufficient probable cause to make an immediate arrest for the death of Obumseli. Any further delay by authorities continues to compromise the integrity of the investigation into this matter.
Prieto said the couple had recently broken up and that Clenney was afraid for her safety because Obumseli paid unsolicited visits to the luxury building. Friends close to the couple told Local 10 they've allegedly seen Clenney hit Obumseli in the past, and cops said the two have a history of domestic disturbances at the Tony high-rise. "We've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her," Ashley Vaughn told the outlet. "From what we've personally experienced between the both of them, we believe that Christian wouldn't put her in a position where she would need to stab him to protect herself." However, a neighbor who claims to have a clear view of the couple's apartment said a week before the stabbing, things were off between the couple, and Clenney was being physically abused by Obumseli, the outlet reported. "I could not tell if it was open-handed or close-handed, but he was swinging at her," the neighbor said. Obumseli's friends told CBS Miami they're shocked by his death. "He was just really high energy, brilliant, intelligent, would bring a smile to anyone," pal Josh Ramsey said. His relatives have set up a GoFundMe page calling his death a murder and seeking donations to cover post-mortem transportation of the body, funeral arrangements, attorney fees, litigation, counseling, and other bills the family may incur as they seek justice. "It is extremely hard to make sense of our new reality, that someone's selfish act ripped Christian away from this world. It isn't enough to say we are shocked and hurting. We are utterly devastated," the GoFundMe reads, adding Obumseli was killed a week before his 28th birthday.
All right, let's fast forward to the newest developments in the case of Courtney Clenney as she's being held without bond as she awaits her trial. January 2024, a 3-minute video was taken by a third person and shows Clenney wearing a blue puffy jacket over a zebra print sports bra and matching pants, attacking Obumseli, who's wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. At one point, she tells him she's fed up and turns to the person filming the encounter. It's unknown what started the argument, though Clenney accuses Ombumseli of flirting with other girls and tells him she had been sober for 2 weeks. Clenney tells Ombumseli in the video, "And now why am I not sober? Because of you." Clenney reportedly tries to hit Ombumseli, who does his best to stop the blows from landing and to keep her away from him. "Actually, I'm done. Can you send him home?" Clenney says before turning back to Ombumseli. "You're costing me money. I didn't do shit since I got to this fucking house because of you." She then accuses him of flirting with 3 girls, and he tells her she's lying. "Christian, you're fired," she says. "Fine, I'm fired. You will never see me again." Ombumseli responds, "You are the most selfish motherfucker I've ever met in my life." Clenney continues to try to strike Ombumseli and yells at him to leave the house. "Stop touching me. Don't touch me again," Ombumseli says. "You never love me the way you talk and the way you treat other fucking girls," Clenney responds. "What did I tell you before? You're the baddest person in this bitch. No one has anything on you. I tell you this every day," Ombumseli says as she continues screaming. "Why are you screaming? There's people in this house," he says. "Get out, get out, get out for real. I never want to see you again," she says as the video ends.
Weeks later, on April 3rd, 2022, the 27-year-old Ombumseli was found fatally stabbed in the couple's luxury condo in Edgewater, allegedly at the hands of Clenney. Clenney had previously been arrested in Vegas in 2021 for domestic altercation with Ombumseli when she reportedly threw glass at him. To make matters worse, the case has taken another turn. Just a week after the video was released of the altercation between Clenney and Ombumseli, Clenney's parents, Kim and Deborah Clenney, were arrested Tuesday in Austin, Texas, in connection to their daughter's murder case. Records obtained by CBS News Miami show Kim and Deborah Clenney were booked at 2:34 p.m. by the Travis County Sheriff's Office on out-of-state felony charges and were being held without bond for another agency. Attorneys for the Clenney family released a statement that in part read, "We're extremely surprised and very concerned about the arrest of the Clenney family. This could be an example of prosecutorial overreach and misconduct. We believe the Clenney family has been targeted with some trumped-up charges to discredit them in the press and make their lives miserable. It stinks of a power play by prosecutors to control the narrative. This Thursday, the state is seeking a gag order in the case. Now they've gone from Courtney's mom and dad in such a way that requires them to spend considerable time in jail without bond." According to the arrest warrant affidavit, Kim, Deborah, and Courtney are charged with 1 count of unauthorized access of a computer system, or electronic device of Christian Ombumseli. So now you add potential evidentiary tampering into the mix.
Ombumseli's family is saddened to hear about the churn in the case with Clenney's parents now being in custody. The fate for Courtney Clenney and her parents is unsure, but it isn't looking too good for her. Courtney Clenney was already looking very guilty from the beginning, and now that this video came out, and now that her parents got arrested, it really isn't looking too good for her, and we will link the video for you guys to see in the show notes. It's pretty crazy.
Yes, and obviously explicit warning. There's some very explicit language used. I know Sam already went over what was briefly said in the video, but you can go see for yourself. It's crazy, and it's very damning for her.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't even know what to say about the situation. Like, it almost seems like her following got to her head so much, and obviously they were in a very abusive relationship. And again, speculation is Courtney Clenney is guilty. It really doesn't look too good for her. It hasn't looked good for her. I know she's supposed to go on trial sometime this year. I've been checking weekly to see if there's any updates, and then obviously this update came up with the video, and then 1 week later her parents get arrested. So very curious to see what's going to happen, especially with her parents being involved now.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how this whole thing plays out and potentially what other evidence comes to light. I mean, the video in itself is damning because it shows that she's being abusive to Ombumseli, but based on one of the neighbors who said he had visual access to the apartment, he could see that Ombumseli was very abusive to her as well, in the days leading up to his death. So that's tough because I mean, that's only one person saying that. I don't know how many other witnesses are saying that he was potentially abusive to her, but I mean, they have it on video. So again, it doesn't look good for her.
No. And we want to know what you guys think. I've been following the Clenney case since it first happened. Jen's been following it.
Yeah.
And now with all of these new details emerging, we thought it was very important for us to share this case. We'd love to know what you guys think, what your speculation is. Do we think that Courtney acted in self-defense towards Obumseli? Or do we think that she was just so angry that she decided to stab him and she killed him?
There's a lot of speculation out there too. It could go a couple of different ways, but unfortunately the evidence doesn't lie, and that's what's really going to hurt her in this case is what they have in evidence, especially that video. That's why, like I said, I think that's going to be really damning. But we'd love to hear what you guys think about this case. What are your theories? What is your speculation? And as always, we'll continue to follow this case and provide updates as we get them.
The fate for Clenney and her parents is unsure, but it's definitely not looking good for her. And like Jen said, we're going to continue to update you as this case grows and as the plot thickens.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap it up here today. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.